All right, so we got Nate with Omnileaf.
Yep, Omnileaf.
Omnileaf.
That's the new project.
So that's the project we're working on right now. And so I met Nate at Happy Clouds. I'm the manager over there at the Round Rock store. And he came in peddling his stuff. And normally I'm really apprehensive to cannabis products. But as soon as he showed me this tincture, my jaw dropped. So it's 3,000 milligrams per bottle. And you said it's 100 milligrams per dosage, right?
Yeah.
There's
syringes that are 100 milligrams, so there's 30 of those.
So that's 100 milliliters per milligram. So 1 in 1 right there, same right here. That's what's up, man. That's an amazing product. And especially when you told me the price, like, I got really excited. I told my bosses, we're going to get you in the store for sure. If you want, you can have the floor and you can tell us how you got into CBD, what businesses you got over, and how you got to Omnileaf.
Okay. A little bit of a transitioning project. Moved to Oklahoma, working for one certain company in the cannabis industry. And I was with them for about 18 months, and they're one of the bigger companies in Oklahoma. But I put on more new account market penetration than not just as top producer. I outright wrote their whole entire sales team combined. They had about 10 different sales guys running over the state, and I literally put on more new accounts than the entire team combined by myself. 18 months consecutively. Mm-hmm. So not even anyone even coming close. And then, of course, after they had the market penetration that they wanted from me, then they just terminated me and, cut me out of the royalties that I should have been collecting.
That is such a common story in cannabis. Such a common story. I think we've both been through something very similar.
It is what it is. I don't want to regress too much. Moving on, it was easier to get into the CBD dog line. I had found a dog in February. My buddy who had a dispensary, Dr. Terps in Midwest City, found a good dog, and she was from the streets, and I ended up keeping her. And then my termination with earlier company happened shortly after, so we came up with a deserted dog because she was deserted, and now she's making
deserted
desserts.
Dog, yeah.
Yeah. But,
she wasn't for the streets.
No, she's about them streets, but
she got that dog in her still.
Yeah, but no, she was determined to make a difference.
That's awesome, man.
We went 3 years strong from 2022 till May of 2025 when the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture
right there
gave me their stop sale. So officially got my stop sale in May, which is a whole other thing because there's other companies that did not receive a stop sale, including the one that I came from that terminated me.
So you're saying that everyone who was marketing towards dogs...
That's what my attorney says now. So naturally I got a stop sale. So my first recall is, okay, let's call the law firm. Let's get a straight answer. What are my loopholes? What am I allowed to do? Can I put pet safe? Can I put animal friendly on the packaging? But after my attorney called around to Department of Ag twice, called OMA, called FDA, made all the list, called me back and was like, no, you cannot even put animal safe or pet friendly on CBD products. Now it's no marketing CBD to animals at all. That's what the attorney answer was.
Yeah, no, it's an unfortunate situation where you had to give up that business model. But, CBD is still CBD.
Yeah.
And you just don't have to market it directly to animals anymore. Whenever somebody comes into the store and is like, I need CBD for my whatever, dog, cat, fish, I just tell them to buy a tincture. All they're doing is putting CBD oil into the dry food regardless. So it's like...
At a high premium.
At a way higher premium, which is fine. Everybody's got to make a buck. I get it. Agriculturalists, it's full of ridiculous marketing. I mean, why is there gluten-free on rice bags? I mean, there's just, certain situations like that where I can understand where they want to stop it. But at the same time, luckily, through science and loopholes, it doesn't even technically matter. And you found Omnileaf regardless. And it seems like Omnileaf is really treating you right.
It's so far so good. It's still 3 months in, let's say. I like to focus on the silver linings about it. Obviously, I have a lot more customers as a human-based product versus animal use only.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of dogs coming in asking for CBD.
Yeah, but additionally, it's just more bang for the buck. They forced my hand. I was perfectly content in my little animal lane, doing my thing. I had my market share, and I was scaling up. Now they forced me. So if that's the case, then I'm just going to price drop the CBD industry big time. Because the main thing, who I see buying the tincture, dude, these are cancer patients. These are like car accident victims. These are people with PT, like real medical situations. And I just think that they've been getting raked over the coals on price for CBD for a long time.
I agree.
And I'm not saying necessarily everyone's guilty of that. I've seen some real cheap CBD out there too, which I appreciate. But no, all things considered, it's a medicine that still I think is entry level. It's old news. It was before weed. No, the amount of people I've sampled CBD over the past 3 months who have never even tried it ever.
It's anti-market. Like, people look at it as a negative in the market for cannabis.
I agree.
Like, it's ridiculous that the consumer has been fed this lie that CBD is the cannabinoid that you should stay away from, and THC is the one that you should chase.
I think there's a misconception in the explanation of what CBD does with a lot of people.
People think it's woo-woo magic.
Well, I'm not familiar with it from having it, because when you're not getting stoned off something, it's hard to tell the differences until you use it on a regular basis. Well, now I notice when I don't take it because it's subtle. It's the anti-anxiety, it's the appetite regulation, the sleep regulation, the whole the anti-inflammatory part. All of that side without the psychoactive side. Mm-hmm. So it's not really till you start messing with it a little bit that you really start to get it. And I think part of the mistaken explanation is that a lot of times they say it takes away from THC.
Yeah.
We're like, oh yeah, it takes, and then, well, the THC doesn't leave your body. If you eat a fat edible and you're tripping balls because you greened out and ate too many milligrams of THC, then it's like, no, the CBD is not going to take away the THC, but it will increase the anti-anxiety properties. Mm-hmm. So it'll make it easier to take a situation where you got too high.
That's why I stick to indica anyways.
Yeah.
I pretty much, it's a rarity that I'll try a sativa, just because sativas, if for anybody watching don't know, they have less CBD in them. They have a higher THC content, so they're more psychoactive, so they're going to get you a little more wired. CBD is there for that calming sensation, that anti-anxiety sensation, to not get you greened out. And that's kind of what the point of this podcast is we want to take the misconception of CBD and reword it, redefine it, and really show off its medicinal benefits. Because, like I said, people will come into the store and assume that it's just woo-woo medicine, like you're going to the apothecary and you're going to buy some mullein and some flaxseed and you're going to drink that in a tea. And, that's not how CBD works. CBD has been proven to be a real medicine. Not that those other ones don't, but CBD is absolutely way more on set.
I think another way I really describe it to people is that when they talk about the whole sativa and indica difference, take a fat dose of CBD when you smoke your sativa, and it's going to give you that whole rounded out effect. The tincture that we have is isolate. So it's CBD isolated by itself.
Perfect.
Very high dose of it, completely free of THC, but it doesn't have all the other subsidiary cannabinoids, CBE, CBB, CBC, etc., CBN. The gummies, however, when you use the full spectrum distillate, they will have that fragment, the 0.1 or 2 THC, but then they also have all the other cannabinoids, the CBC, CBE, CBN, CBG, etc. And you definitely notice the difference. So I think the main thing with CBD is just getting yourself familiar with what your goals are, how you feel. Take it for an extended amount of time, at least a few days or a week or so you can get yourself familiar with what it's like to have in your system.
No, totally. Have you ever seen your average CBD flower? What do you think of it?
I would love to see amazing CBD flower because I would smoke it all day long. If it was indoor dope weed and it was just CBD, I would have no problem smoking it. But typically, and this is something I've noticed in Colombia, for instance. I go to Latin America frequently.
Okay.
Colombia's THC law is 1%, not 0.3. So it really opens the door on the caliber of hemp flower that you can get down there when they're not limited to that 0.3. So I think, not as a professional hemp grower, but I think that limits the quality of hemp flower we're able to get. Because when you need to keep it into that compliant less than 0.3, it's like, bro, people pop so easily on such a small little fragment.
We have a list of genetics that we're forced to grow because they've been stabilized to, guarantee no THC.
Yeah, so I'm really curious to see that expand a little more because I think CBD flower would be popular, but it's hard to take someone from California or Oklahoma where there's endless top shelf indoor weed.
Nobody wants to take the time to grow the
here's
CBD.
Some brown outdoor CBD weed, bro. Enjoy. It's like, oh, dude, it's gonna give me a throat ache. I don't even want to smoke that.
Exactly. So whenever I won the Cannabis Cup, it was on Lifter.
Congrats, by the way.
Thank you.
That's an amazing accomplishment.
Have you ever heard of the strain Lifter?
Maybe I've seen it. I'm hard to say. I see a lot of stuff renamed wrong in
Oklahoma.
Dude,
CBD strains can get named whatever the fuck. Yeah. Like in Texas, you can grow Lifter and call it fucking Cherry OG Mountain Thunderfuck and then register it under that name, and that's your strain now. It's so stupid.
And I got a few pet peeves about legal weed that I don't like. Renaming strains should be illegal.
It should.
Of all the things,
all genetics should be at least not necessarily patented, but acknowledged.
Well, how is it not fraud?
Yeah.
I mean, how is that not fraud? You're literally telling someone something, and that it's not that. So I mean,
it is fraud. It is false marketing.
I mean, while we're on that subject, we get into all these fruit-flavored sprayed trim joints that are going around, right?
Oh my God.
You know,
not even real terpenes, just flavoring.
You can go ahead and believe that the company that screwed me over, obviously their whole business model is veg room leaf put into pre-rolls, sprayed with distillate and fruit juice, and then they have the audacity to call it grape OG or some shit. Like, they literally try to market it like it's a strain. They mark them sativa indica.
Yeah.
And then the bud tender's like, oh, well, here's a pineapple express. I'm like, dude, you literally just gave someone random leaf sprayed with distillate, and you have the nerve to tell them it's sativa or indica? That's fraud, and you're lying.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you're criminals. About that, and that same person who mentioned to me about the CBD dog industry, and he's like, I don't think it's totally illegal, man. I think you kind of got targeted.
They have recently sent letters for 7-OH, other cannabinoids for THCP. They're targeting just alternative medicine in general. So I wouldn't doubt that somebody saw you succeeding. Who knows? Maybe it was big Tylenol.
A wise man once said, never attribute to malice what could be attributed to incompetence. So Oklahoma is 50th in education, in all fairness.
I think we might be 49th, dude.
No, I don't think Texas is that bad.
Yeah, I think we're like 47, dude.
What's the robot say? Ask the robot.
Yeah,
no way. Texas ain't that low, bro.
40th.
Okay, it's 20% higher than Oklahoma.
40th. And we'll take it.
Yeah, but the thing is, the people that got took over are the ones who are in the government and the government's friends. And I mean, I could expect a lot of the dispensaries are all saying the exact same thing is going to unfold. So, I mean, this is purely...
You're saying Oklahoma dispensaries?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I go around, I talk to 20 to 40 doors a day.
Yeah.
And I've done that for the past 5 years, so I definitely have a good rapport with all the doors that I talk to. I got about 700 on my list of dispensaries just in Oklahoma. No, they're all basically saying they're tightening the doors. They've been raiding everybody, closing people down.
I have seen that.
Just citing stuff that's not even warrants or arrests, just paperwork from 5 years ago, just robbing people, taking their licensing money for 30 grand, issuing the license in good notice, waiting till they have weed and metric, and then robbing the place blind and shutting them down a week after.
What do they do with all the biomass?
Well, yeah, it probably goes out as those shitty pre-rolls. And when you get a good batch, you smoke one of them flavored pre-rolls, and you're like, this one's actually good.
That's actually confiscated weed.
Yeah, that was good weed taken from one of the heady people. Yeah, as far as the government, cops can't grow good weed.
That's funny. That'd be hilarious, dude. That'd be fucking crazy if some of the people that we sell are like actually just embedded in the government.
I 100% guarantee that.
You think?
I don't think I know.
The thing about CBD, for good flower here, you have to pay $1,400 a pound for good flower. Like for my flower, what I was selling at for that company was $1,200 a pound.
Yeah.
And that was all craft grown, the best in Texas.
Right.
And people are still selling it higher than us. And honestly, it's the same story with the oil. It's the same story with the oil. So that's why I appreciate your price so much and why you're just saying fuck it on the price.
It should be prevalent everywhere. It shouldn't be a thing that's excluded for rich soccer moms.
Yeah. No, it's not. That's a great point.
At a cost that's so much cheaper, it just doesn't make sense to get your CBD any other way. You might as well just buy it straight like that.
No, totally.
Because I'll just price drop it enough to make here, do what you want with it. It shouldn't be exclusive for rich people.
What I wanted to do was something similar whenever I was growing cannabis. So I have gotten let go twice, even though I have that award under my belt.
Imagine my shock.
Tale as old as time. Cannabis, people have a weird ego. It's like if it makes money, but it's inefficient.
You know what it is, though, man?
What's
on
up?
On that exact note about how people have a weird ego, the people who invested the most money for the most part and are the biggest in the game, they were never marijuana people. They were bankers, they were investors, they were scam artists, they were criminals, and that is who is corrupt with the government, shutting down all the good people. They would never in a million years be successful in a fair market. They hated weed the entire time, never smoked in their lives, and as soon as it went legal, they dipped in the $1 billion trust fund, and they kicked down all the people who should be running the industry.
You're so fucking right.
That's
like,
just the fact
because,
of the matter.
well, I've seen that a million times too. Like, whenever I'm just me and an old dude freaking... You know, we're growing our craft stuff. He's doing more logistics. I'm doing more growing. It's just a two-man operation. And we're going up against Hometown Hero, which in Texas is the biggest cannabis company.
I've heard about him several times since being down here. Obviously said, so.
See, and that's why I gravitate to CBD, because what they miss out on is the oil is so easy to make. You can have the shittiest flower and make the best oil.
It's isolate and MCT oil from coconuts, so that's just healthy fat lipids from coconuts anyway.
Yeah, just keeps it in your system longer.
Yeah, and that's where I'm just like, I'm just that's the one product that's easy to price drop. So I'm like, you know what? If as far as like medical people who really want it, I at least want to have one option of something that's just straight to the point, where people can stay on it at a good dose without breaking the bank.
Are people making a profit in Oklahoma off of any production or producers?
In the weed game, I mean, yes, I do know some people that are making pretty good money with weed. It's just so...
But weed specifically. Medical or weed? Like,
well,
you don't have to out anybody, obviously.
I know a few dispensaries that are doing really well.
Okay.
But for the most part, most of them are check to check.
Okay.
When you can walk in and meet the owners, that means the owner can't afford to have people on salary working the place.
Exactly.
So that usually tells you something right off the bat.
Even though Oklahoma has a more legal market, a harder market now because of the government and regulations, but they at least have a better market than Texas. Do y'all sell like THCA?
Nobody bothers with it. Just there's so much weed everywhere that it's like...
Might as well just go pick up from someone.
Yeah, well now they're not only closing down all the grows, that's been pretty regular now, but I guess as of November 1st, you need a certificate of occupancy for any of your dispensaries or grows or any processing facility. And this has been known for the past like year that you need to get your COO, and everybody signs up to get a fire marshal to come get their COO. November 1st is 2 days from now, 5 days from now, or whatever. And 700 dispensaries have not had a fire marshal stop out yet.
Damn.
And it's just going to be, sorry guys, we didn't get to you. You're closed, and if you sell anything, it's now felony trafficking.
My God.
You can stay open and keep paying your overhead. We'll get to you in February. So it's like, oh, okay,
God.
November, December, January, February, 4 months paying all your bills and overhead. You know what I mean? So they're just force closing everybody else who they couldn't find a reason to close.
No.
They're skipping their inspections.
So THCA has popped off, but due to like municipal and county regulation, so Texas is a little unique in our government. You're a farmer and you're trying to make money. Like you said, you have to pay your overhead. Although there's a lot of regulation happening towards us, I still see, like, look how the West Coast is. Look how Colorado is. Look how the East Coast is. There are a lot of states that are proving these people wrong, you know? So I'm just hoping the more that I get these words out, I'm trying to talk to more people from other states as well. You're the first person I've ever had.
Thank you.
Like, this is literally the first podcast that we're doing for this type of ordeal. I just wanted to talk to you because I just need to start learning about other markets and how I can influence Texas legislators to allow us to be like those markets.
It's such a hard thing to say because one thing, as a store, do you guys need a special hemp license or anything to sell all the THC? It's okay, so there is some other license.
Yeah, so you have a merchandising license and then a production license. Okay. But you can get all of it in one. You can bundle it for a cheaper price if you're a producer.
Because, I mean, it's THCA weed. I mean, If it's not smoke weed or smoke THCA weed, I'm like, all right. I mean, I'll smoke it. It's better than not smoking weed.
No, yeah.
But it's definitely a little bit different. For the most part, though, I like Oklahoma, man. It's a lot of pleas and things. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, so I mean, it's got its rough moments up there in the Northeast. It's not known for its friendliness.
I went to Tulsa once.
It's pretty.
It was artistic
river,
downtown.
Trees, some nice houses.
Some nice stuff.
It
was in the middle of the desert.
Oklahoma City's going to hate me, but no, Tulsa's way headier than
You
Oklahoma.
really?
Oklahoma's generally friendly. I've been there for 5 years, and one of the main things that kept me there, I'm like, well, I'm just working and going through the motions. It's please and thank you, and here, let me hold the door. You want a sack with that? I'm like, all right. So overall, general quality of life, it's not miserable. I got to get to Texas. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
And you know what it is? I think it comes down on most of them. It's intimidation by OMA and the government. They never give them clear rules.
Who's OMA?
Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that's the enforcement, which is a whole nother story.
Sounds intimidating.
Yeah, so how about this one? I'll shit on them too, really. Right? I'm not even in the weed industry. Or not THC at least, right? I'm officing out of another facility that used to have a processing in it, right? We're all in separate addresses. Let the Department of Ag can come check anytime. Call me. My number's on the door. I know how it works, but I'm my own address. You can't just walk in my door. OMA was going through the processing facility, just confirming everybody was moved out and everything. They come in and they tried to come through the back door, and the processing person touring was like, no, that's not the office. Bah. And they were trying to sneak into doors they're not allowed. And I'm like, nothing's going on. I don't care. I'm just in there working, waiting for them. They go around, they come around to the front door, and it's like on the door, clearly marked. It's like deserted dog, Nathan Lazier, phone number. No mistakes can be made that it's a different address.
Yeah.
And I'm standing right there by the door.
Body cams.
Probably already.
The TDA agents are normally pretty chill.
Yeah.
Like they know what they're expecting to walk in. They're hoping that it's a legal like whatever they're walking into is going to be a legal situation.
Of course. I'm standing there. She opens the door, knowing it's not in her jurisdiction, and it's ultimately trespassing at that point. Opens the door. I'm like, hello. And she goes, I'm sorry. Closes the door. I'm like, you're not sorry. You did that on purpose. But the thing is, you're wearing a body camera. Where's the accountability in the government? Your agents are trespassing and breaking the law.
That's scary.
Because that's what I'm saying. It's lawless.
That's scary.
The criminals are in control. And that's why I'm leaving Oklahoma. I'm scared. I'm not suicidal. Just letting everyone know I'm not suicidal.
Yeah, we plan on living 100 years.
Yeah, I'm doing my thing and growing, so if something happens to me, promise to God it was foul play.
Okay.
I'm like, here's my packaging. Here's my binder with compliance and testing. Here is my distillate and isolate with attached testing. And there's our sink. But no, I that's why I don't want to get into the loopholes. I'm not trying to get into all. It's just going to make everything more difficult. Have you heard much of the rumor mill on what's going to happen?
2 THCA? Rumor mill.
I've just heard this from countless dispensaries, completely unrelated across the state.
Oklahoma dispensaries.
Yeah.
Okay. So Oklahoma dispensaries have rumors about what's about to happen in the Texas market.
They're all Oklahoma growers are who's going to be supplying Texas.
That's where we get our flower from already.
Yeah, so that's why they're closing down all the actual good grows, because everybody's repeatedly told me from around the block, Governor Stitt's family has multiple different investments in marijuana grows. They're closing down everybody else, and then they're basically going to get a monopoly on supplying Texas. Yeah. I've heard that from a dozen or more different doors, so all unrelated. Teach their own, you know. Yeah. I think CBD is going to be the new emerging market, and I think even more so than CBD, I think hemp plastic needs to get in the mix.
Yeah. Hey, hemp plastic, hempcrete, all of it. Any biomass and actually we're going to be making plastics here as well.
Pre-roll tubes being made out of petroleum plastic is a crime against humanity. Yeah. And I've already priced them out. It's like pre-roll tubes can be like 5-10 cents a piece. You can already right now in today's market Google biodegradable hemp pre-roll tubes.
They exist?
They're like 25 cents.
When we're talking about plastic, we're talking about big oil.
A lot of people don't even know that there's an option. It's not going to ruin your company for you to go biodegradable on your packaging. And I think the consumers need to start holding the producers accountable and really making it known that we want a more... Because not only that, you're smoking petroleum, man. You think you're not getting microplastics in your smoke?
I know we are.
People put their joint out and they throw it back in a petroleum tube. It's like, bro, you are literally smoking... plastic.
Tons and tons of biomass just wasted. And we can be turning it into so many things. Like I said, hempcrete, plastics, oils.
I think that the hempcrete and the plastic, especially the plastic, I think that that's going to be a bigger industry than all of the cannabinoids combined. Well, it also raises the question about how detrimental the 0.3% THC limit is, because how many hemp harvests are we losing because it pops? Because I was reading over my booklet up there, and if you grow a hemp field, bro, if you pop over 0.3, you have to destroy your entire crop, and they charge you for it.
I've seen it.
So it deters people from even getting in the industry.
I've seen it.
And that's where we're getting gaslit. The government's gaslighting us. In Colombia, it's 1% because they're not gaslighting their population.
Yeah.
Here, they'll go, no, hemp is legal. You just need to keep it below 0.3. Bro, that's borderline impossible.
It's borderline just zero.
Right. It's borderline impossible, and you're just trying to play both sides of the fence. Like, oh, no, it's legal, but the rules kind of make it to where, no, dude, it's not.
For one, I know that there's not enough research out there, and the government didn't pay to give a researcher to find that 0.3%.
I talked to a California hemp farmer, and what he told me is, he's like, no, he's like, you can do it, but he's like, this was a professional hemp farmer. He's like, you have to pick the right strains, and you have to test it on the plant at a certain time. So I'm like, so basically, no, you're still jumping through hoops, bro.
Yeah. It's literally a constant battle.
Yeah, it's a constantly trying to find a loophole.
And we would have our tester come out probably 3 weeks before, as it's flowering. 3 weeks in, I guess. Yeah. 3 weeks in, get it tested.
That's what they say, because it's who's determines when's harvest is, and that's the grower who tells the government when they're harvesting.
I hate that.
But it's just the fact that there's so many hoops to jump through and loopholes. It shouldn't be like that. That's the whole problem. It should just be straight to the point. 1%. Let's just use Latin America as an example. That sounds fair. Yeah. Because then if you pop 0.5, no, you don't got to burn your crop. Yep. You can still turn it into plastic or something.
It is ridiculous to even watch a whole freaking crop get burnt too. It's like, it was so much wasted. It's like we could have just ground it up and called it a day.
Why can't that be turned into plastic? Because even if it points 0.5, okay, you popped over 0.3, this can no longer be used for CBD products. Fair, that's fine.
Even compost or something, though.
Yeah, but it's like, bro, there's so many other uses for hemp, and it just goes to show it has nothing to do with them being worried about people getting high, and it has everything to do with them wanting to suppress the industry as a whole.
Protecting their own markets.
That's exactly it.
I wanted to watch a video about it.
Of all the things about hemp, though.
So William Randolph Hearst, who is basically a newspaper god, who owned almost all of the newspapers across the whole country, began publishing articles that demonized marijuana and portrayed it as a dangerous drug that led to violence and insanity. So since he owned him,
if I was to go back in time,
it's as backwards as it could possibly be.
If I was to go back in time, I'd fucking kill that guy as a baby.
Yeah, I got a list from the early 1900s, man. I got a list while you're there. Whole other thing, man. You got to stop wearing nylon and plastic clothes now, man. It disrupts your hormones big time.
We should.
Yeah, that's the whole other thing now. Wearing nylon underwear and stuff, track pants.
You're so right. We should. Honestly, all my clothes come from fucking brands that we sell at the store.
It's crazy because the founding fathers, it was a requirement that you grew hemp on your property. Did you
really?
know that? In the 1700s, Jefferson and all them?
Next to tobacco fields, smoking spliffs out there. Yeah, I recently started looking up how to make plastic. It's pretty fucking easy. It's really fucking easy. It's like really fucking easy.
Make pre-roll tubes.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a lot of stuff. Why not?
Because I remember that when I was living in Hollywood, I was there when it went from medical to rec, and our favorite dispensaries that used to be deli style 4-gram eighths for $25 a fire. Overnight, we'd go back in, and you'd have like a 2.7 dried out eighth and a pop top, and a plastic sealed bag around that, and another bag stapled with something on it. And it was just so excessive that it's like, bro, who wrote these laws? The bag company? Like the bag DuPont? Like that's literally who wrote the no.
It must be.
Make them quadruple bag it.
Just cause.
Yeah, just because.
Fucking give them those BPAs or whatever.
So yeah, man, I think it's just knowledge, bro. People need to know that CBD doesn't need to be expensive. People need to know that hemp does all this other stuff. People need to know that we're getting stifled with this 0.3 THC law.
Yeah.
It needs to be 1%. In my personal opinion, something fair that it would be way easier to hit so people could start mass manufacturing plastics again.
I honestly don't even know how to get a license now that the TABC took it over. No idea.
Some states might be easier than others. Texas might not be the state. I have no idea.
Well, it used to be easy. Like, we used to literally be known as, like, one of the easiest states to get a cannabis license. You literally go online, you watch the fucking orientation video, and then you pay your fucking dues, and then they come out, check you out, and give you your license. It's really that simple. And it could be a fucking house like this. I've met people who have worse situations who had their hemp licenses for processing and whatnot. And the laws changed in August, so now we're not allowed to have vapes that aren't nicotine made in the U.S. So every other vape is canceled. Like, no THC, CBD vape. Like, you can't even have a CBD vape.
I guess so. I haven't seen any vapes. I guess you're right.
Yeah, we're not allowed to have them anymore.
Okay.
And we got to keep all of our cannabis, flower, gummies, dabs. I can sell fucking syringes of distillate, which, by the way,
Tincture, those aren't.
yeah. But, you know, if you can get good distillate, we'd love to sell that as well, because now we can sell shit, you know. Obviously, people are going to be.
Do that.
It's another thing. I'm creating a CBD market at my store, and you'd actually be happy to see, literally in the past week, I have probably sold like 5 out of the 15 new products that I've introduced in the past week.
That's cool.
Like, consecutively. And like, mostly topicals. People coming in for like their knee or something.
You guys have good stores, and I think the other thing is that you also have good staff.
Yeah.
I think that makes and breaks a lot of places, because it's like, bro, if your staff is not pitching the whole menu and making sure that everybody knows everything in the store.
Did you get to visit any of the other ones?
Wait, this is that same one as over there. Okay.
Yeah, no, you got lucky with me for sure.
Well, much appreciated.
Yeah, that was a really by chance thing.
You know, man, that's the beauty of door to door, though. When people are like, because what happens every day, you meet a couple people, you miss a couple people. The boss just left 3 minutes ago. I'm like, bro, you're pulling the slot machine lever when you go around.
I do it to people all the time.
Especially when I'm first working a turf too. Like, I don't know anybody. I'm doing all the data entry. I got to make sure. So once I get in my routine here, and I've been around for a little while, I'm like, okay, I'll have my little route down.
I'll give salesmen about 4 questions before I'm like, okay, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But luckily, yeah, you came in, you're like, and I had my own line of stuff for dogs, and I was like, okay, so he already knows what's going on, and he's, let's talk.
Well, you know what the bear found when it finally crawled over the mountain?
What's that?
Another mountain.
Got to keep pushing that rock up. So.
All right. Well, you want to close on it? What are you thinking?
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah. Good. Thanks for having me, bro.
Omnileaf.
I'm excited.
Omnileaf CBD.
Go online and buy some gummies. I'll throw in extra stuff.